I'm going to show you how to make this one. And I'm using these bulbs. I got these at Hobby Lobby and they're plastic. And they have, these ones are painted white, but they also had them in clear. But I chose white because if I decided I wanted to decoupage on them, then I could decoupage on them. That's why I chose white, because it would make it easy to do that if I wanted to use a napkin and decoupage. And the white's working fine. And let's see, this one right here, I designed this one, and this is actually a piece of silk. And I keep on using this and thinking it's like linen, and then I realize how soft it is, and that it doesn't melt, and it's actually silk. And some cream. This is this embellishment, which I have in my shop. And when I designed this, I've decided that if I'm going to make more, I'm probably going to separate here and place that on the back, because I wasn't too fond of how this beads came out on the other side. But you can use two on one on each side if you want to, but I don't like to, I didn't want to do that. And then let's see, this one, it's done similar too, and it has pink with the rose. It's still the chiffon rose that has been seared as a flower on top. And I think I'm still going to add pearls to this one along here. I still got to add that. And this applique, I was experimenting with different appliques I have in my shop. This has more of a magenta rose colored on it, these appliques, and these come in a small and a large. This one that I'm showing you here is a larger one, it looks like. Oh, it looks like it's the same size. Oh, it's a little bigger. So there's one that's called large and one that's small. I think this might be two small ones. One, two on the back. And I just attach them to the back. And let's see. I have this one. And this one is a new trim I just placed in my shop a week ago. And has a big old flower, and then it has these dangles, a bunch of dangles on the bottom. I actually fussy cut some of them off, and then I added beads here at the bottom. And I did not cover this bulb. So you can also do it a different way. The bulb is there, it's not covered. You could paint it, or you can, I left this one plain and I used white on it, and you can see it looks gorgeous. And then this right here I do have in my shop. I just put it in my shop. I think I sell it by motif because it's kind of a pricey, was a pricey trim, and I just want to, if I sell it by motif, it can go to crafters too. And then I put a bunch of lace up here on top and that. And one more, I'll show you this one. And this one I also used one of the trims I have in my shop. You can see I used a chiffon. No, this is not chiffon. Hi, Liz. Thank you. Hi, Liz. I'm saying hi to myself. Hi, Sarita. Thank you. As you can see, this one right here has one of the other, this trim. This is an applique I have in my Etsy shop. And I placed it like this right over. And let's check to see what I did on the back. On the back, I used, hi Liz, thank you. I like to inspire you. If you guys have any types of appliques or wedding dress, anything, you can do that with this. You don't have to go and buy mine, but if you like mine, I do have these in my shop. And see the back one I placed on the back, it looks like this with the bottom part of this trim, and then the top part is over here. See that? And I did cover it with an organza. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm like, some of the times if you're working with the bauble, sometimes it's hard to put things on it, and I feel like this you can. And you don't have to put fabric if you don't want. You can put lace up here at the top and then just paint it. I see a lot of people paint them, and I don't do a lot of painting. I work with more fabrics and laces and appliques, and I use these beads that I have. The beads I carry in my shop, so if you're looking for these beads, and I'm going to show you how I made them, which is very simple. I usually buy them and they're real inspirational to me, but not always to others. So I'm going to show you how I did this one. And again, I began with a bulb like this. And what I learned is that I've been starting to I've been starting to first glue this down. I didn't do it on my first ones. Glue it down so it doesn't come up in the process. So that's the first thing tip I have for you is glue it down. Yes, you guys talk with each other. And you know, I although I sell laces and trims in my shop, I encourage you to use what you have. If you notice from the beginning when I first started, oh, thank you. The angel is for you shabby chic lovers who love pink. And I'm not that much of a pink lover. Like I don't really like it's not my favorite color. If I do choose pink, I choose the rosy pink like this more. So, okay, I'll show you this. What I learned is that, you know, I've shown you the last time to cut your fabric for your bulbs. Well, this one I found that I need to make sure that it's a little bit longer than what my than even the round bulb I showed you. What I do is I measure it around. This side seems to be longer along here. So I just measure my bulb, whether it's this size or if it's a different size, but I kind of estimate. And then I measure that since I don't have my cloth tape measure, I use something else and I measure it and it shows me it's 9 inches. So this is about 9 inches from here all the way here. And so I want to go up further. So I add about 3 inches. Oh, yeah, you want to make some craft room art. You want to make one like that. And you can because I feel like you can and yes, if you learned it from me, I do appreciate the thumbs up on your channels. If you do have a channel, really, I don't mind if you use my ideas. What I do like you to give me a thumbs up. In fact, I have I have a thumbs up to give somebody. Have any of you ever gone and watched Jennings 566 Jennings. Fiona Jennings. She is, I think she lives in the UK, something like that. But she is like a crafter who's been around for a long time. And I watched her when I first started crafting and she is so inspirational. But she did one video where she gave me a thumbs up. And I'll try and remember to link it here so you guys can see it. But she actually showed you how she used my idea of the dress and she actually tried to put it on a card or making it more flat, so she might have an idea for you. And I would just, Fiona, I appreciate that you gave me a thumbs up for that. Okay, so now what I did, so what you need to realize is that you do want it to be at least 12 inches all the way around. I found that it absolutely needs the whole 12 inches and I cut that. Yes, Jennings. I can't. What are her numbers? Somebody remember her Jennings? She has numbers after her name. Jennings 622 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But what I did was I took this. Oops. I have this very dusty rose lace in my shop, and this is what I'm going to use for this to attach this together. This will take a while for you to see me do this. So I'm going to take my time and show you. When I teach, I like to teach where somebody who doesn't know how to do it is going to learn something. Those of you who can do, maybe have made these, you might find some extra tips if you watch me. And other people who are very, very creative, they might just say, "Wow, you're too slow. You take too long." I get those kinds of comments. It's like I get comments like all over the board. Jenny644, thank you, Jenny644. Really go over, and if you go to one of her videos, she gives me a thumbs up. So I had given her a thumbs up before when I was inspired by her ideas. She has wonderful ideas, and I want to whenever I use her ideas, and I didn't just get it out of the blue or come up with it on my own, then I'll try to give you a thumbs up. Thank you for loving my work. And keep on inspiring each other and supporting each other because that's what we are. I mean, and I'm letting you guys know, those of you who actually have a channel, who have a video channel, I'm probably going to start in 2023. I'm going to try again to hire a few designers, but I'm going to make it a little more strict. Last time I did it, I encouraged people who didn't even have a channel, who didn't have any type of social media presence, but this time I'm going to require you to have a bit of social media presence. So if you are someone who does have social media presence and wants to possibly design for me, where you do, you can message me either here or over on Facebook. Um, Message me there on my my Facebook group or my Facebook page, whichever you want. And so this is the same way as we did the other. Okay. And then I go again, the same thing. I trimmed it. I trimmed it this as high as I wanted. And there is a little bit more waste on that. You can use these pieces if you want, but and it's kind of high. Let me see. I made it lower. This chiffon, oh, the chiffon is a lot softer and it's floppier. Yes, if you do, what I will do is that for those of you who might join my channel, usually what I've done in the past is I'll say, okay, choose $25 worth of stuff in my shop and I send it to you. You use it and you can create and design with it. And of course, give me thumbs up and say you got the products from me. I might send you, like, if I make more um, lots of laces and trims and things like that. I sell them like that too, like a set with a bunch of inspirational laces and trims. What I started doing with those lots is I'm making them about 9 to 12 inches long, the pieces, and I'm giving you a variety so you can use on small crafting like this. Um, all right, so there we got that. It's close enough. You can work on more on it if you want. But since it's chiffon, if you can see the chiffon, it folds better and it looks like you ruffled it. And I took a long time doing that. This is the trim that I have in my Etsy shop that I used. This one is really long and I might use this to make one of my large angels because it's big enough to do that. If you ruffle it, it's a beautiful rose. I have these in my shop and I feel like this one is probably one of the more pricey ones. If you can see, it has a beautiful details. I tried putting it on different ways and I ended up fussy cutting it completely around to use it. See that? So that's what you do. You go, and I haven't fussy cut it at all. I decided to use one large one, and you can do it differently. You can use a couple of small ones also, since you have the trim. You can use the small ones on something else. So this trim, I have several of these types of trims, and I like them because they're almost like getting an applique, but it's actually you get a lot more. I mean, so this one I think is probably $6 or more a yard, but you get a whole yard and you're getting a lot. And then most of them are 5 or 5.50 for a yard of the other ones. Like um, I have I have some other pink ones. So this is just a way I feel like you can fussy cut around them and you can get this beautiful applique and it goes a long way. You can use all the parts for card making, for, anything that you're doing. Um, and one of the tips I always give when you're using this, it's if you're going to leave any of the netting on there, to choose the background the same color as the netting. It really helps it to blend in a lot better. For this one, I experimented different ways, and this is the way I preferred it. I tried keeping the leaves. I tried, keeping a lot of the leaves or a lot more. But so here I am. I'm good at. As you can see, the crafts when I designed them, I have to experiment, and then I come up with the best way that I enjoy making them, and then I show you what I did, so that you can then be inspired, and maybe you can take one of your trims that you have and you can go from an old blouse that you have to purchasing this if you want, or going and finding a pillowcase, whatever you have, and think of the inspiration that you can do. Be inspired to. It looks like I left the oops. I left those little small flowers on there and I cut it off on one side. Well, one's going to go without it. I can always add it too if I want after. And what it was is that how when I fussy cut it, it was more about how close I could get and how it blended in with the fabric. And I found that the little bit on the edges of this one will blend in fine. Oops. That looks upside down. That's why I put it this way. So look. Can you see? I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. Now normally when I put this on, you can use hot glue or you can use fabric tack. I'm gonna do fabric tack. And I use a lot of fabric tack. Fabric tack is a glue that cures and gets even stronger over time. And it's made specifically to even be washed. Now, people are not going to be washing this. They're going to dust it probably. But I do sell this. So for me, I feel like if I'm going to give it to a customer, I want it to last years. So when you're purchasing one of these, you might think, oh, well, that's a lot, but you can make your own. And you'll see that when you're designing your own, it will take you a long time to design your own, but you get to get ideas from me. I'm just getting a little bit closer here. Now, usually I put it on there, and then I also use hot glue. So I'll come to any place that I messed, or I feel like it needs to be a little flatter, like I didn't put any on here. I'll put a little hot glue and get the corners if I missed any corners. And then this way I'm using both. Okay, so this is my preference. You can use all hot glue. And the reason I like the other one is I could put most of the glue on all at the same time, as you saw. I placed it all on there at the same time. So, see how simple, how beautiful that is? You can go this far and then just seal your fabric with flame. But this one is going to be slow, letting you guys see all the little fussy. I probably would have taken a little bit longer fussy cutting this out if I was doing this on my own and got a little bit closer on some little areas. But it's fine if you don't. It's like it blends right in. Okay, so I like the dusty rose. So here we are so far. And then here, oh, thank you. So you can stop here and just put a hanger on it and seal. I would seal this. You don't even have to seal this. You can just cut it more closely. But I went further. And how far you go, a lot of times when I'm designing something, sometimes I hold back, and sometimes it's like you look at eye and you say, when do I stop? I like balance in my pieces. So this looks beautiful here, and that's all you need to do. But I did more. I took this. This is the cream colored trim, and because I like it to look vintage, and I used it around both, and I think that I need to do this one first and then this one, because that way I can just butt it up. I can butt it up as close as I can. So I'm going to do this one around first. And then I also decided these ones were not going to have any. Oh, look at how pretty these roses would look on it. That would look pretty. Yep. But I'm not doing that this time. I'm doing pearls. By the way, I carry beautiful vintage looking paper roses like that in my shop. I don't have that particular color in there, although I have some. That's because I'm being stingy, maybe? Is that what it's called? I'm not sharing them with everyone because I have a few and I want to design things with them. And pink goes fast. So I'm just trimming this because I don't want it. You can keep it if you like it. But like I said, I'm not going to put it. So here we go. And also for this one, when I do pearls, because again, you can use your hot glue, no problem. But I usually use E6000, and sometimes I'll use the fabric tack too. Fabric tack says on it that, I think it does say that it grabs, I think it is say on it that you can use it for jewels and acrylics and pearls. So I'm going to cut this approximately the size that I want it. I usually cut it just a little bigger, so I have a little leeway there. And I'm going to start it. Of course, this is just, and I actually, you're going to find that I'm going to use both again. And when I say both, it doesn't mean I'm using them both on top of each other, but I'm using them side by side. What I mean by that is that I'm not having the glues touch each other really that much. They might touch, but I'm actually putting them separate in the same project. One is the purpose of the permanent gluing, and the other is the quick dry glue. So there's two ways I've chosen to do it. Sometimes I'll go with, because this is doubled, I might go every other one, or I'll do 3 with this and then 1 with the hot glue. Sometimes look this glue I bought this actually is not that old, but I did a lot of those jewelry wreaths and I used a lot of this glue for that. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to do, let's look at seeping out by itself. So the glue is not the easiest thing to work with. Sometimes it starts seeping out like that and I end up tossing some of it. I'm going to put a little bit before it keeps on going. I'm going to seal it up. It's messy. Normally I would stop and I'd clean it off and then I'd kind of start over. But I want some of it on there. And I'm going to put hot glue on the first 3 little bits right there. So just since I resell all my things, I'm careful not to have a lot of glue showing. And right now I'm trying to clean my hands. The E6000, it doesn't dry right away, so I can take my time, and I'm placing some hot glue on one of the beads that I didn't put any E6000 on. See that? And I'm pulling it over. I'm giving it a snug. And then now I'm going to go all the way and I'm just going to measure. Now I think I'm going to leave those 2 beads on. Sometimes how much you use depends on how much you put on there, how much glue you put on there. I mean, how much lace you put on, how thick the lace is. So each one is different. All right, let's meet up. Now, I could have done better on that. But you'll see it still looks beautiful. It's very different when you're working in the camera and you're working on your own and you have it close up to you and you're, not explaining what you're doing, but you're figuring it out on your own. All right. But I wanted to walk you through slowly, knowing that, this all takes a little bit of time. So now the next thing I did on this one is I'm probably not going to do it for you, but I'm going to show you what I did. I just went along the side here and I placed it the same way with glue. this way. Since it's doubled up, it stuck very well. Okay, I'm not going to waste that much time for you on that, but this one's almost done. And I'm going to finish it off later. But the next thing I did was I have this is a deep dark rose colored. If you want some of this color, let me know. I have some, but I don't have it in my shop like for you to buy. And I used pearls. See? Pearls. And so this is going to be both it's going to be a hanger. I'm going to make it about the same length. And but a little bit more here. Oops. Okay. All right. It's going to be a hanger. This is how I did it. That made it like easier for me. I'm wrapping the lace around my beads, leaving some at the top. I don't think I left enough. I'll leave a little more. I'll show you why. All right, you're learning a lot of my tricks here that I learned when I was making these, because I wanted to put the beads sticking out in the middle as well as some more lace. Did that. Okay. Then I took this, oops. I went in here. Remember, I glued this down already because that's why, because of when I started messing with this, they started wanting to come up. So that's why I did it. And now I use the lace to knot it on the, there. See that? Okay. Then what you can do is, like, I have more in there. So I'm going to take this one and fold it in half. So you can use any colors, laces you have. You can, I'm just measuring about how high I want it. An example. These can be trimmed, so it's better to err on the long side if you want them poking out. That's what I'm doing. This lace is part of the design of making it look soft and lovely and beautiful. It's part of that. Okay. And then I still had room. If it gives you trouble, take it and make it pointy. And then I stuck this in too, this lace. Instead of putting a bunch of glue in there like I have in the past or with different things, this is the idea. So I always twist things up, right? And make them my own. This way it's all getting filled in. And so this hanging down, you can make a decision. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by sealing this end. The best way for you to do this is probably with a candle. I have old videos where I show exactly what I do with the candle, but I'll use either a lighter or something, and I just gently seal it. And the flame is not right on it. If it does go on it, it's fast, very fast through it. If you can look at the edge, it's starting to darken it, and then it stops it from fraying too. See that? And one of the tips I have is if you're going to use the slider, these get hot. So I'd rather have you use one of the ones with the stick, because then they don't get so hot. But if you do use this kind, you flip it up this way so the flame goes up away from you. And then you do it. Okay? So that's why when you use a candle, you gently go over it, and you're not using exactly the flame. If you fabric touches the flame, then what you do is you do it fast. So my fabric touches the flame fast. See how? And it's browning up a little bit. That's what I mean. So have water around, especially if you're not skilled when you're doing this. Okay. All right. So I'm not finished with this, but I'm almost finished. And I think I showed you enough so that this video doesn't get hours long. But if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me now. And this is how it came out. Beautiful. And then I put one on the back. I'll be adding another one on the back. Or you could use the little small ones that are on here. You can add those on the back instead and, use double. This does look pretty, the edging, but I'm not sure how it would look. So you make that decision. You can put it, we could have put this on a big round ball. It might work with the right background fabric. See, this fabric's kind of light, so I probably need a lighter pink. Probably, but I'm going to do the same on the back. And it will then, and I'll finish sealing it here. You'll see how pretty that looks, all sealed up. And look how many I put on here. I'll probably put more of those on there until it's done.